Hi, good day to you, Gemini. Welcome to Meenakshi Tarot. Today is the 28th of July. So if you come across this reading anytime from the 28th of July, you will most probably meant to see it, Gemini. But as per normal, never force the reading to fit. Always just take what resonates with you and leave what does not. So Gemini. So if the reading is not resonating with you, please look at your moon, your Venus, and your rising. And I'm going to be reading reversals as well this time around. So reading reversals takes a much longer time than just reading upright cards. So if your readings come in reverse, then I'll be reading that. So if the readings are longer than my allocated time on TikTok, I will be doing an extended reading on YouTube, and you can carry on watching it on YouTube. My handle on YouTube is Meenakshi Tarot. Okay, so let's see what is this that slipped out. You had the World, had the Magician, the Wheel of Fortune, Two of Swords, the Hermit, Virgo energy. You've had the Moon, Pisces energy. You have had the Seven of Wands. You have the Tower, and your last card is the Two of Wands in reverse. So pretty good so far. We see some of you looking at traveling. Some of you are looking at a cycle that has been over in your life. And it's also as though you've got this energy of newness, new beginnings, creating this new life for yourself, focusing your energies, and also seeing this financial upswing where things are so much better for you. However, however, with the changes that is coming through towards you, there has been a little bit of stress, a little bit of burdens for some of you. We see that some of you need to be very mindful as well, that you are having to make some choices. And some of these choices that you're needing to make is almost as though you need to follow your instinct. It's almost as though you need to look at blind faith to make these decisions. Nothing much that you can rely on, no previous wisdom on this. So you need to look within yourself for some of these answers that you are facing with. Even though there could be some adversities, or there could be some verbal deals with some of your situations, you need to be very mindful of not being too harsh with your words, but rather being very mindful about what it is that is going on in the situation. Be careful, you've got this Virgo energy. You could be getting advice from an older person, but it also could be about you being very mindful about the choices that you need to make. You're at a point in your life where you do need to make some choices about which way is forward for you, and you need to be very mindful of that. We see that you need to also be mindful of not getting caught up with the illusion, not getting caught up with dreams, or not seeing the truth of a situation for what it is, but rather what you think it is. You must remember that no situation keeps you stuck in any which way, but you need to be mindful of how you are handling your situations and how you are focusing on these situations. We see that some of you could be in a situation where you are dealing with some conflict, and this conflict is actually undermining your stability right now and making you feel very very afraid in some cases. But you need to realize that you do have a way out of your situations, out of situations that you don't want to deal with, situations that you feel are unnecessary and not a part of the solutions in your life. So dealing with this, you need to realize you do have an option, you do have a way out. You don't need to constantly engage in arguments, but you need to look at this as a situation where you are learning about yourself, and maybe you're learning about the other person. And this is very, very much a situation for you to realize that some relationships are really not worth going into, because they may never be resolved. There's always going to be more problems than what is worth. Sometimes you could be dealing with somebody who's a very stubborn person, who may have a lot of pride, and they refuse to listen to the situations, to the circumstances. But you need to be able to allow yourself to change. Some of you could be getting very stuck in your ways and refusing to allow yourself to evolve and to change with regards to your circumstances and your situations. So this is very mindful that there's burdens, there's travel, there's immigration for some, there's conflict, there's stability being undermined, there's choices that needs to be made, and there's also Some of you could be just dreaming of wanting a way out of a situation or relationship, Gemini. So there is this difficulties that some of you are facing right now. So let's draw some more cards and see what more is it that the tarot can say for you and what guidance can they offer you in your situation, Gemini. So Gemini. Got the Four of Swords in reverse, the King of Cups in reverse, the Devil, Capricorn energy, the Sun, Ace of Cups, the Star, Aquarius energy, Eight of Pentacles, the Tower on the Tower, and the Nine of Pentacles. So really, some of you are going through some really challenging situations, I do see here. Some of you need to be very mindful of your health as well. You could be putting yourself in a situation where there is a lot of stress that needs to be avoided. Some of you could be facing situations that are making you feel very depressed and very alone. And you need to realize that you cannot stay in these situations because this is not good for your mental health. It's not good for your physical health. It's not good for your emotional health. So if you are in some kind of a toxic situation with somebody, you need to really know when to cut your losses in the situation, because this is really not working out for you, being in a situation with somebody where they are just causing you more harm than any good. You know, why are you in this relationship with them if this is the way that they are? Some of you must also be very careful that you're not dealing with somebody who's very secretive, or you yourself becoming very secretive and feeling very vulnerable in your situation. And you could be dealing with somebody who's a very hot-tempered person, who's got these addictive personality traits, Gemini, or somebody who's also taking out their emotional pain on you. So be very mindful of that. And you could also be in a situation where it could be making you feel as though it's very difficult to try to get somebody to change the way that they are thinking. I mean, with this Devil energy, we're looking at some kind of a lustful, some of you could be in a lustful relationship, a lustful situation, a situation where that has started off as very promising, has started off as very good, but has become very problematic. But there's this, it's literally you are feeling enslaved in this relationship. Some of you could be feeling as though you are in a relationship that's keeping you very, very much enslaved. We see that there's a lot of happiness in your situations, a lot of new beginnings. There is this overflowing love. Some of you could be in a relationship with an Aquarius person where there is this love that is flowing towards you. So it's almost like this, like two different scenarios that are playing out here. There's somebody who's, you know, very much in love. There's a lot of flow, there's a lot of happiness, there's a lot of productivity. There's the dreams of a family situation, of growth, but a lot of focused work and energy, and a lot of you almost needing to have this reality check here, because you know what, you are going through this chaotic change in your situation that's going to allow you to be in this abundant, expansive, and prosperous energy. But it's also very much you needing to face the truth of your situations, of where you guys are at. So an addictive situation, a love situation, and a chaotic financial situation in your work situation. A lot of things playing out here. So I think that looking at all of this confusion that's going on here, Gemini, I'm going to stop here for my TikTok people, and I'm going to say goodbye to you guys on TikTok. If you want to carry on listening to the reading, you can find me on Meenakshi Tarot on YouTube. So goodbye, TikTok people. So to my YouTube people. Okay, we're looking at the situation. A lot of things that are going on here. I mean, you're looking at you know, wanting to make things work for yourself, but also facing some extreme difficulties in your life and in your situation, which makes it very difficult for you to be able to be very productive. You know, you need to really look at what is your long-term goals, because if your long-term goals is not working out for you, no matter how hard you are working, remember, there is no quick fix situation. There is a lot that you are going to have to learn within this situation that you are in, that you need to work hard so that you can have that reward for the future. But it's also a reality check for some of you. Some of you are dealing with somebody where you are needing to really look at how things are. There is this need with your stability being undermined at the moment. You need to make sure that you take time to have fun, to relax, to do things that's going to, create a beautiful ambience in your home situation. Take a moment to just spoil yourself and to enjoy life and to enjoy your partnership and your relationship, especially if it has been going through this toxic energy here. So let's draw some more cards and see what more is it that... And this actually just fell out here. Let's leave that there. Should I leave that there? Yes, let's leave that there. Because, I had shuffled beforehand and we got the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So let's see what's going on. Eight of Pentacles. And this is kind of weird because, here we are looking at how you should be looking at your situations, and you have the Eight of Pentacles upright, working hard, and now you've got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So let's shuffle a few more cards, a few more rounds here. See what more is it that the tarot can say to you, Gemini. So remember, this is not for every Gemini, okay? Only if it resonates with you, and if it doesn't, then that's quite okay. Queen of Cups in reverse, Queen of Swords upright, Seven of Pentacles in reverse, Nine of Swords, Three of Wands, Seven of Wands in reverse, and you've got the Ten of Wands. So here you are, in situations that you hadn't thought that you would be in, and now you need to look at how are you going to face these situations. You need to be very mindful of yourself and the energies that you are carrying with you and the relationships that you are getting involved in, because like we're talking about, getting involved, going out there, having some fun with yourself, and spoiling yourself in your life and not staying so stuck in your situations. It's very easy to feel like you are the victim, but that's not always the case. Yeah, you need to realize that, a lot of the crises that you have and a lot of the situations that have happened, you brought this upon yourself, and you need to realize that you need to take a step. You need to move. You need to make wiser choices. You need to put yourself back onto that prosperous path that you were on. And you're needing to realize and accept the fact that, what worked for you before was that you had this vision, you had this idea of hard work. You knew where it is that you needed to be, and you were working hard. But however, now you seem to be in a situation where you're thinking a quick fix is what you need. You could be distracted from work because of personal problems. So we got the Queen of Cups in reverse here. So some of you could be in a situation where there's a lot of personal problems, or you could be dealing with the situation where you just want to be having a good time all the time, or your person just wants to be having a good time and wants to be entertained all the time. So this is causing a problem for you in your work atmosphere, because you can't just be having fun. You need to also put in your hours. It's important. Too much of fun in this situation is actually going to lead you down the wrong path, and you could be dealing with somebody who's maybe using emotional blackmail in the situation to get what they... This could be somebody's truth there. Somebody who's using emotional blackmail to get what they want. Could be somebody who's very... how would I say it? You could be dealing with somebody who's very spoiled, very demanding, somebody who's very impervious to seeing your point of view about things. You could be somebody who you see as a financial or emotional drain. And you need to also be very mindful that you are most probably not thinking very carefully. You're looking at your situations and you're not having careful vision about anything. And you need to be mindful of this energy that you are carrying, because that's not going to help you if you are going to be so caught up with carrying this negative drama and also entertaining this person with their negative energy. You need to get to this point where you are rising above your problems, where you are rising above the situation, where you can literally see the wood from the trees, as opposed to being stuck in the cycle where you can't see what exactly is going on. So Gemini, a lot of clarity of thought is needed from you in your situation. Instead of just following and doing what you think needs to be done, you need to open your eyes to the reality of your situation. And even though you are maybe giving in a partnership or relationship because you want peace, you are actually causing yourself more anxiety and more stress. It's very important that you realize that you are wasting your time and wasting your energy in idleness because you are not wanting to put in the effort and you're not wanting to make the changes that needs to happen. And this is causing you a lot of stress and a lot of sleepless nights because you do know what you need to do, and what you need to do is put in this effort to make the change happen. There's a lot of energy at work here. You need to look at the bigger picture for yourself. You cannot allow yourself to be limited in your thinking. Some of you might be thinking of making a move. Some of you might be thinking of immigration. Some of you might be thinking of going back home if you have left home. Some of you might be thinking about the bigger picture of things, but you really need to be very honest with yourself about what it is that you need to do. It's also very important that you create boundaries for yourself and realize that you cannot be timid about situations, and also be mindful of the burdens that you're taking upon yourself. You need to know when is the time when you can diversify, when is the time that you can't. But I see in many cases this is for somebody who has to accept this reading, is for somebody who has made some drastic changes in their lives and they're now needing to reverse these changes, and they most probably need to go back home, or they need to go back to the beginning to where things was okay, or go back to that point where things were okay before things became so chaotic and situations got so messed up. Sometimes, Gemini, you could probably be getting involved with somebody where they just don't bring out the best in you, and you are just making bad choices after bad choices because of the company that you're keeping. So be very mindful of the company you're keeping, and be very mindful of the decisions that you are making and the decisions that you are not making. A very intense reading here for you, Gemini. I hope you guys have enjoyed this and it's given you some guidance. And I'll see you guys again soon. So take care and goodbye.